Assalamualaikum grade 7s. Today we're getting on with area of 2D shapes. We were finding the perimeter in the past few days, and if you remember, I told you the perimeter you're calculating when you're walking around the shape and you're measuring the distance around the shape. It doesn't matter which shape you have, so you're working out the distance around a shape. Now when we want to calculate the area of a shape, like this for example is a square, we want to know how much is there inside this shape here. So the area is the inside portion of the shape here. Okay, so when we have a square, we know that the square, all four sides are equal, and if you see, you're going to see a line like that that's going to show you that all four sides are matching and all four sides are 2 centimeters. So when we want to calculate the length, the area of the square, we're going to say the length times the length. So we have to learn this formula here. Length times the length is going to be 2 centimeters multiplied by 2 centimeters, and we write our answer as 4 centimeters squared because we're multiplying centimeters by centimeters. That became centimeters squared, and 2 times 2. So it's a formula that you need to learn and you need to remember it off by heart. When you're given a square, how do we calculate how much is the area, the portion inside of the square there? We're going to say length times the length, which is the same thing. 2 times 2 is equals to 4 centimeters. Then we have a rectangle, and we know in a rectangle that opposite sides are equal. So you'll probably see lines like that. So this side is matching to that side and that side is matching to this side. So when we want to calculate the area of a rectangle, our formula is going to be our length times our breadth. So we're going to take our length and multiply it by our breadth. Here's our length and here's our breadth, and we're going to say 3 centimeters multiplied by 2 centimeters, and again I'm writing my answer as centimeters squared, and 3 times 2 is 6. So in a rectangle it's length times breadth, and in a square it's length times length. Okay, then we're moving on to a triangle, and we want to find the area of the triangle, which means we want to know how much of space is there inside of this triangle here. Now you are given the measurements of this line here, and you're given the measurements of that. So there's two things we need to know when we're doing a triangle. This is called the base of the triangle, and we write it as a B. It's the bottom part of the triangle, which is the base. Okay, so I'll show you a picture that's turned around, but the base is the part that's at the bottom of the triangle, or the flat surface at the bottom of the triangle, and the height is the one that's this 2 centimeters here that's going up from the base. That is called the height, and we write it as h. So when we want to calculate the area of a triangle, we're going to say area is equals to half multiplied by the base multiplied by the height. So it's a formula, you need to learn it and get used to it. So what we do is we're saying half multiplied by, in this triangle, how much is my base? My base is 3 centimeters, so half times 3. And my height is 2 centimeters, so I'm saying times 2 centimeters. So half times my base times my height. So when we learn the formula for the area of triangle, we say half times base times height, half times 3 times 2, and half, that becomes half multiplied by 6. 3 times 2 is 6, and if I'm multiplying half by 6, I'm going to get 3 centimeters squared. All of them are written in centimeters squared, and you're just multiplying the numbers. So for area, we are calculating the portion that is inside there, right? So we're working out how much of space is there inside of the square, how much of space is there inside of this rectangle, and how much of space there is inside this triangle, right? So you have to learn the formulas. For a square, we say area is equals to length times length, and we write our answer as 4 centimeters squared. So we're saying that there's 4 centimeters squared inside there. In a rectangle, we're saying length times breadth, which is, this is the length, 3 centimeters times the breadth, which is 2 centimeters, and we're saying 6 centimeters squared. In a triangle, we need to find the base of the triangle and the height of the triangle, and we're going to say half times the base times the height, which gives us 3 centimeters squared.